Alright, so this is the 2021 Christmas party, question and answer. And so I got only one question, but each of you get to answer it, okay?
Okay.
Looking back over your whole life, what's the best piece of advice that you've been given that you found has been the most helpful in your life?
Well, did you do your homework?
Did you do your homework? Okay.
And get up and go. It is when you get back, you got things to do.
Do your chores and do your homework.
And do your homework.
Okay.
Yeah, what do
That
you
was
think?
good.
That is good.
I'd say think slowly, make wise decisions, make long-term decisions. Primarily in that area.
Yeah.
It's kind of like when they say you measure twice, you cut once. Well, you think twice and you do once.
Right.
So you just avoid major mistakes. Next question, please.
Well, no, that was the only question. I had another question, but I know the answer. Who's your favorite son? I know who that is.
Well,
I'm glad you didn't ask. I'm glad you didn't ask that question.
I know it's me. I'm not going to worry about asking the
Well,
question.
no, that's a children-in-law.
I mean, hey,
But
I know
listen,
what that.
I love y'all. Thank y'all for doing this every year, and it's really special. So,
Thank you.
Not
yeah, I'm
as
gonna go
much
get
as
my
I
house ready for everybody to come
I
over.
just hope we can continue to do it many years
Yeah, I hope so
into
too.
the future. Yes.
All right, love y'all.
Love you too.
All right.
Go ahead. Go ahead. It's not yours.
All right. Mom's the easy one on this one. What is your full name?
What, my full name?
Yeah.
Evelyn Marie Fall Huval.
And what is your full name?
Sam Ernest Huval.
And how did that come about?
Well, they had a politician about 1940s that my mom and dad really liked. His name was Sam Jones. So that's how I ended up with the name Sam. I have no idea.
So why did they call you Ernest for so
I
long?
have no idea where. I have no
But
idea how he
Ernest
got
is his
switched
middle
over.
name.
Which I'm glad. I'm glad I'm an Ernest. Yeah, yeah.
Well, Leo Nice is too. So, well, I know y'all met at a dance hall and stuff like that. But when did you decide that she's the one or he's the one?
I decided probably 2 weeks after I met her. Went on a date. Went out, had an early supper. Went for a ride on the levee from Henderson towards Catahoula. Went to Butler Rose
Okay.
and got out of the vehicle. Went and sat on a boat. And we're chatting, and all of a sudden I said, "Man, I think I'm in love, man." That was it.
Oh, and it's, from by your face, it sounds like you weren't on the same page.
Well, I didn't know him. I didn't know him.
Well, how long did it take for you to decide that he's the one?
Maybe second or third.
Okay, well that's quick.
Pretty quick.
So how long were y'all dating before you got married?
2 years.
That's about right.
That's it.
That's about right. Yep.
Well, that's a long time when y'all knew. I mean, what took y'all
yes, but there was things to consider college and
so? Okay.
You know, we moved as fast as we could for that.
All right. Who were your childhood friends?
then
Yeah.
Rose
Rose.
Cormier. Who else? They had other friends, but they were friend, not too much.
Yeah, Rose called me. It was her best friend.
Yeah, her best
And it's because of Rose
Right.
that I met her. And that's why I still like Rose.
Yeah.
But
But who were your childhood friends?
my childhood friends were Shorty, Russell Huval,
Okay.
Dalton Landry, which was a neighbor next door. Paul LeBlanc. Yeah, Paul LeBlanc for sure.
Yeah.
And that's about that sums it up. Yeah. You don't need too many friends. You just need a few good friends.
Good friends.
Okay. All right, so I've been gone from the house quite a while now, and I want to know what is like for every man for himself night.
I'm always waiting for someone to come in, and it's probably you. But when you were there, you would take care of us, and oh my God, you would cook for us. And
I was just curious,
But usually, I think you're talking about food more so.
Well,
I think every man for himself means I'm gonna get ice cream for supper.
all right. This is more for Dick.
okay.
What is your favorite joke?
My favorite joke? Oh my Lord, I got so many of them, Scotty. I guess one of my old favorites that I tell a lot of people when they, especially the cashiers and the waitresses and all that, and they put the terms of endearment on you, shy and darling and all that. I said, let me tell you a story. I said, this old man called his wife shy, darling, sweetheart, all that nice stuff, and said, his neighbor said, "My dad's so sweet." He said, "Well, thank you." But he said, the truth of the matter is, I done forgot her name.
Well, I just want to tell you I love you both, and I thank you. We talked about, taking care of your family, and that's what you've taught me. But I can't thank you enough for taking care of and supported me. Pat and I were talking about, what are some of the things that you remember about your parents and stuff. And that's just one of the things that just always come to mind is y'all supported my dreams, my efforts, and everything I did. Mom, I come back to the thoughts of you working with me and not knowing I have dyslexia, but it was just your sheer determination to help me. It was frustrating as heck, but I do know that, seeing what my son went through and what you've gone through, and my wife going through, I can't thank you enough for that time. Because really, I'd be honest with you, that had more profound philosophy in that, and to overcome my problems of reading, of just, and having a good work ethic involved in that. And I thank you, and Dad, I thank you too, because you sat there and, helped me in the homework and all that kind of stuff. And you always had the right philosophy, to support whatever our dreams were. And when those changed, you changed, with it and kept supporting us. So I thank you and I love you.
Love you too.
All right.
Very good.
All right. All right, Ben.
Okay, yeah. Always. All right, so one question I've always want to ask both of you, after living a long life, a lot of waters pass under the bridge, and we don't live our lives with regrets, but sometimes we wish we would have done something a little different. So is there one thing in your life you say, well, I wish I would have done this instead of that, or?
For some reason, I still come up with a regret that I didn't emphasize Bible reading, let's say, at every meal. I mean, I tried to do it for a while because, we always had supper. we call it together. And I tried to do it for a while, and it didn't stick. And I'm sorry I didn't say, no, we're going to do it, whether you'll like it or not, type of thing, you know.
Yeah.
So for some reason, I regret I didn't do that, because I think that would have just fortified everything that I've done.
Yeah. Okay. How about you, Mom?
No, there was nothing that I would change. I kind of thought that maybe y'all wouldn't like me very much because I was very tough on you. And, but it was necessary, I think.
Yeah.
And I really don't regret, you know, you might have cussed me in the backyard or whatever, but go ahead. I have to say it.
Okay. Growing up, I know material things were sparse. Didn't have a lot of material things. But what material thing do you remember the most? Like something of your own possession, a toy, something that was just so special because it was pretty rare.
You mean like before I was married even?
Yeah.
Oh boy. I think I remember one Christmas I got two pairs of boxing gloves. So I was really excited about that for some reason, except I found out the reason for those 2 pairs of boxing gloves. We went to my grandmother's house for Christmas dinner as usual, and Shorty and I were best of friends, but yet we'd fight all the time. Well, Shorty's daddy and my daddy said, now y'all put on those boxing gloves and y'all fight now. Yeah. Well, we got tired, you know, you get tired holding those things up. They said, no, fight, keep fighting. So, I mean, I remember those boxing gloves very well.
Okay. How about you, Mom? Anything special that you had when you were growing up?
Going to school a lot, and together, Leah and I, and we had to wait for our bus. And the principal always teased Leah, you're older than Evelyn. And she would get mad. She would get mad. And he said, oh yeah, Leah, she's much younger than you. And she said, I'm telling you, I am older. I'm not older. That was going on all the time with the principal. You know?
Yeah.
But yeah, we didn't have to deal with principals too much.
Well, that's good.
Yeah.
Because you had to deal with the principal once with me,
Well,
and that wasn't good. So.
No,
Yeah.
but hey, that was the truth. And
Yeah.
I enjoyed that, and I think you did very well for it. But I did tell you, Tony, I'm going in there with the principal's office,
Yeah.
but it better be true. And that little girl just confessed like a confessioner.
All right, so speaking of school, going back to grade school, junior high, high school, one teacher that made the biggest influence on you and why? Why that person did?
I had, I guess, multiple teachers in different subject matters. Of course, my math teacher was very important to me. But I think Miss Moss. Miss Moss was my English teacher. And, you know, we had literature, I call it. It wasn't just diagram and sentences. We had to read books and interpret the book and all that. And I think I got a love of reading books probably from there. Mm-hmm. And I can remember during the summer, after Mass, I had a little library connected with the church, and I'd run up there and grab me a couple of books and take them home, read them till next week.
Uh-huh.
So, she created a love of reading in me, and I'm thankful for that.
Okay. About your mom, a special teacher?
Yes, I do. It was a Mrs. Can't hardly remember her name. Anyway, she was the history teacher, and she was teacher of everything because they throw it at her. And she made you homework. You had to show it to her.
Yeah.
She'd grade your homework and everything. And because I did go to English, and this teacher said, Loretta, you're gonna have an F. I don't care what you did, because I saw you cheated on Evelyn. That was in very, very, I didn't really want to hear it, But I said, heck, I didn't realize that she was cheating.
So what I got out of those two teachers was you like the impression that somebody made on you was somebody who inspired you.
Right.
And the impression that somebody made on you was somebody who held you accountable. And that's kind of the way it's been for me with both of you in my life. That Dad's inspired me, and Mom, you've kept me accountable. And having that combination has served me well, and I appreciate that. So thank y'all very much.
Okay.
Yeah.
All I know, I've got 3 good boys.
And I got 2 good parents.
All right, Miss
Of course, I have questions. I just want to tell y'all I love y'all so much. Like y'all, my own mom and dad sometimes, and you have filled the shoes of my dad passing, and I appreciate it. And always being there for Scott and I and our family. It's been the world to us, so we really appreciate it. I have some questions. What were some games or things you and your siblings did growing up? I know y'all worked in the fields and stuff, but what for fun did y'all do as kids?
We used to make our own balls when we'd get out of the field, and we'd take little rags and roll them tight, and we'd go in the yard, the barnyard, and we'd make and get to hit the ball on it, and then it would fall apart.
And you'd have to do it all over again.
You had to do it all over again, but that was the only time we had a good time.
Okay.
Well, quite frankly, I don't remember playing with my siblings very much. Because first of all, I was the oldest one. And then it was 3 years between me and Joanna, and then another 3 years between her and Dwayne. So we were kind of an age difference. And then also, whenever my daddy would leave, or if he wasn't around, you're in charge. I was in charge. So I was the boss. The boss don't play with the workers, So that was kind of, but I didn't think about it. I mean, it was just something that was what life was.
Didn't feel lost from it.
I didn't feel any problem with it at all.
Well,
No.
good. Well, good. Well, tell me the favorite thing about your mother and your father? Or your biggest memory of them?
My mother, like everybody here knows, well, that's why Ada Grace has got the name she got, because of my mother, Ada. She was a fantastic person. Of course, a great mother. I don't know what, she was great in many, many, many ways. And a lot of people loved her a lot. My daddy, you can learn stuff you can learn what to do, and you can learn what not to do from people. And my daddy falls in that category. But as I get older, I realize more and more how wise he really was.
Right.
And he had very good morals. He had a great reputation. I mean, people would always say in Beaubridge, George Huval is his worst enemy. He's his own worst enemy because of his attitude about life. He would always say, there's only 2 people in this world that ever told me what to do. My mother and my sergeant. Nobody else is going to tell George Huval what to do. So, I mean, that was kind of the attitude. And also, I always seem to get off rattling about him, but there's a good ending. He never congratulated me on doing anything well, anything good. Therefore, I took that and raised my sons to practice telling them good job when it's deserved. Yeah, and I think that went a long ways to them being the gentlemen they are today.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, he was a good provider, wasn't he?
Oh yes.
Oh, God,
Very hardest working guy you've ever seen.
Right.
But he had attitude problem. Yeah. He was self-centered. I say very self-centered. Yeah. He'd come 1st. Yeah. Yeah.
How about you, Miss Evelyn? What's something that you liked best about your mom?
Oh, she was so good. You'd ask her for anything, she'd give it to you. She had it. She was never fussing. No, you just give her a cigarette.
All right. How many houses did y'all live in during y'all's childhood?
I would say about 4 or 5. We started off with a little bitty house right next to my grandmother and grandfather's house. I guess until I went to the 1st grade about.
Was that your mom or dad's parents?
My daddy's parents. No, my mama's parents, her mother died real early. I mean, my mama, I think, was 10 or 12 years old when her mama passed away. But no, that was my daddy's. And then we moved, we were sharecroppers in a couple of places, and eventually we built the old house where I lived until I got married. So, yeah.
And that's the one your dad was in when he passed. At the time
Right.
he passed, he
Yes,
was still in that
yes,
house,
he
the
did.
farmhouse.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, well, he was actually in a nursing home, but I mean, that
Right,
was,
but that was the last
home.
house.
Yeah, that was the
Okay.
home, yeah.
How about you, Miss Evelyn? How many did you live in? How many different houses did you grow up in?
We were sharecroppers too, and I stayed in the houses that we had from the
So you
landlady.
kind of moved different places.
I never moved from
Yeah.
those.
Did you change schools when y'all would move, or it was always pretty much in the
Oh,
same?
yeah, there was only
same
one school.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
And what is a best childhood memory?
Ooh. I have so many. Just at least feeling loved. Yeah.
That's a good
Yeah,
one.
I mean, my mama, of course, would really show her love and express her love. But my daddy, I mean, I knew he loved me. I knew he had certain shortcomings, but I knew he loved me. There was no doubt in my mind about that. He just didn't tell you. Of course, at that day, at that time, in that culture, it just wasn't done
Right.
by most people. Right, right.
Okay. What about you, Miss Evelyn? A childhood memory that You
It was kind of
not
sad.
not hanging with
My-
Aunt Leora?
Well, we would
Y'all
hang
had good
together,
times?
but when we went to school, really.
Yeah.
But my father was not interested in,
Giving y'all good
you
memories.
know, and he wouldn't let us go to school until the first 9 weeks. And on our report card, it was unfinished.
Incomplete.
Yes, and we had to get in there, and then we had to start asking people what their books were looking like, and I had to take that at night
Oh,
and
to
copy
catch up.
the back.
Well-
of it, you know.
Interesting.
So-
Interesting.
Well, I must say, her and Leora apparently were extremely bright because they'd always catch up and be towards the head of the class at the end of the school year.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Oh, yeah.
That's
I
awesome.
mean, that's why I guess I miss her, because out of 15, there's only 4 left.
Yeah. Yeah.
So.
Well,
15
one is
children.
sitting here, that's for sure. Well, what about what's your favorite meal right now? I mean, what's a meal, if you could have any meal, what meal would you like? What's your favorite food? I have to say, Miss Evelyn, I asked this to my own family, and a lot of them were
Crawfish.
crawfish at your and not mine.
That's what I was fixing to say.
Yeah.
Yeah, it would have to be crawfish
Is
at
it
your
sa-
fair.
is it-
Yeah.
Yeah.
I remember
No, but she's-
a few weeks ago, as part of my men's group on Tuesday mornings, they asked, if you only had one day to live, what would you do? I said, I got a freezer full of crawfish at your fair, I'm all right.
Fun. So what would be yours?
I like all food. Not particular.
Homemade, right?
Homemade.
Yes. And what is your favorite pastime? Or throughout your adult life, or
Okay,
what would
now
be
I
your
can
favorite
tell
pastime?
you because I didn't have any pastime before that.
Right. What in your adult life would be your favorite pastime?
Work, and work
What
outside.
about sewing?
Tony?
Sewing.
Oh, sewing, yes. One year I made 150 shirts.
Oh my.
Yeah.
That's
They
a
were
pastime
Chris
for sure.
Chris and the three boys and you.
Yeah.
I made him some.
Awesome.
Huh?
You
A
made
fur coat. You know, it drowned.
Oh my.
Made out of wrong fur.
Brown fur.
And what about pastime for you?
Reading.
Reading.
And mostly, I read nonfiction stuff. The only fiction stuff I read on a regular basis is John Grisham, which I'm into one of his books now. But a lot of self-improvement books, a lot of religious books. That's just what I enjoy. And I've come to realize that I'm not an outdoor person. I don't like the outdoors, period. But I love the indoors. And I love my man cave. I mean, life is good, yes.
Well, I have to say, your youngest son follows very well in those steps. Indoors is his thing. What is a best vacation y'all ever took?
Ooh.
And that could be in your adulthood, raising your own children.
Yeah, it would have to be because we didn't go anywhere. When
Well, I mean, we took the traditional family vacations, went to Disney World and Astro World and, things like that. But as adults, I mean, after
they left.
we were on our own, my favorite was we took a cruise. I call it a Baltic Sea cruise. It was like a 10-day cruise, and we went to like Norway and Finland and Denmark and Moscow,
Russia, yeah.
through Berlin and Russia. It was truly fantastic.
Wow.
It was sad at times, but that was what it was.
Yeah.
Right. And would that have been your favorite too?
Yes.
Okay. And what's y'all's favorite music genre? What kind of music do y'all like to listen to?
Fast domino, darling.
No, and I like
I
classic.
found my thrill.
It was in Blue Ridge.
What was the hardest decision you had to make in your life?
Did I have to whip Michael? Or don't I? I wouldn't have whipped him because he could have whipped me back.
No, what was the hardest decision?
Yeah, what was it?
Really, it was an easy decision until the very end, marrying her. For some reason, the day before the wedding, and here we got all the catering set up, we got everything set up, and I sat by that window and I said, Lord God, what am I doing?
So did I.
This is for the rest of my life, So it was tough to say, oh, yeah, you better go through. So, yeah.
All right. And what is a Christmas tradition that you remember? Either as a child or with your own children or both?
Well, popcorn. popcorn.
Yeah, we
Oh yeah,
made
you
it.
put it on a string and you make.
Oh, did you do that as a child or you did that as an
As
adult
a child,
with your
as a
children?
child with.
Okay.
no,
Yeah, we
with
did
our
it, and
children.
those little,
Oh, I
papers
love.
that
Oh
we-
yeah, I
we
love the
do
little
it
things that
like
you
that.
hook together
the
like
little
that.
wings.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, cool.
and we had, which one was it? It was Doug, I think. He said, it was a car or what was it?
Oh yeah, I don't know what it is, but I love it.
What it is? What is it? So Doug has a good one.
So yes.
Yeah.
Well, awesome. Well, thank you. I enjoyed asking questions.
Thank you.
We always enjoy hearing
Okay.
stories.
Yeah.
So thank you. I love y'all.
Sky, go see if you can round up some more. Michael?
I only have like 2 questions, I guess.
Oh, okay.
Oh, you done
It's
that.
a multi-part question. The first question is, do you guys have any favorite memories of being parents? Like, what's your favorite memory that you have of dealing with your kids?
Oh my. Of course, I remember the birth of all 3 of them very well. Except in those days, it didn't allow you in the birthing room, which I was disappointed about that. One story, one incident that I'll never forget is Evelyn had to have a hysterectomy. And we were explaining to the 3 boys about the fact that she wouldn't be able to have children anymore. And I don't know how old Scotty was, maybe 10.
Not very old.
9, 10 years old. And he goes, he starts sniffling. I said, Scotty, what's the matter? He said, but can we keep the ones we have? No, but we had a lot of fun times.
Fun times.
Oh yeah, yeah. I mean, a lot of swimming parties. And,
Yeah, we'd
oh,
go
yeah.
to on vacation and we'd go to eat, and the lady wasn't very nice, and they didn't want to give her much.
Service. Or whatever.
Yeah, and she said, and I said, okay, guys, now we all be good. What they did, they took pennies and threw them in the water. And that's the tip they gave that poor guy, the poor girl. And I said, oh, let's get out of here.
No, that was a good tip. I'm sure she got the message.
But listen, we can't tell too many of those things because,
We're being recorded. Oh, yeah.
yeah.
And we're going to put it on YouTube. The whole world will know.
No.
So I guess the other part of that question is, being a father myself, we all know kids don't come with instruction manuals, right? What would be the one piece of advice, I guess, that you could give me and, everyone here who's a new parent or, what's the one piece of advice that you could give us that you wish you would have had?
Well, it's a new world. It's a new culture. It's a drug culture. And everybody's going to be trying to get your kids into drugs, especially if they know that their mom and daddy or they have some money. So you got to be very, very careful of that. And also, it's never too late, but you got to start very early disciplining your children very strictly. And, just nip it in the bud is what I say, before they get smart alecky and start entering back and so forth. That's very important. Again, I refer to my men's group. One morning, they actually said, what do you do if your child tells you, I hate you? And they went around the table and it got to me. I said, well, I'm the oldest one here. But I said, none of my 3 boys ever told me, I hate you. I'm sure they
And I
thought
love
about it. I'm sure they thought about it a lot, but they never verbalized it. They never say, "I hate you." So I mean, you gotta let them know that if they misbehave, the consequences. And even when they get older, you gotta give them. You gotta take something away from them that they want. Like nowadays, you take their cell phone away, and you say you can't have your cell phone back for a week. And if you mess up during that week, then it's gonna be 2 weeks. And that sounds really strict, but you stick with it. One of my favorite child psychologist author is John Rosemont, and he preaches a lot of that stuff. I mean, you gotta stick with it and show them that, and they'll come around. Yeah, I mean, they're gonna slam doors and they're gonna kick their feet and all that, but you just gotta stick with it. No, she practiced that a long time ago.
No?
You practiced that before it was modern.
Oh, good, yeah.
Yeah.
No, but you always love them, you know.
Oh yeah. Well, I mean, you punish them, and then you turn around and say, "But I love you. I love you unconditionally." That's a word I like. I love you unconditionally. I mean, and that's the way I feel about my kids and grandkids and great-grandkids. I love every one of them unconditionally. I don't care what they become. If they become drug addicts, I'll still love them unconditionally. I mean, that's part of my blood. And blood is very important to me.
And you got some of it, mine. You got some.
Yeah. Yeah.
Some that you
Well,
lost.
I mean, I digress now. I'm volunteering information. I'm not answering questions, but I'm so proud of the Huval clan because all of y'all are such good workers, such good husbands, and such good people. You know, what more could a person want?
Where do you think we learned it from?
well, that's another thing. You teach by example. Yeah. You know, I have a saying that, well, it's part of the philosophy of life still that I handed out today. You know, reading the Bible is good, studying the Bible is better, but doing the Bible is best. So that's what you got to work on. And to me, religion boils down, I've narrowed it down to one thing: serving. You serve your fellow man, enemies, friends, whatever. You try to help them. I mean, I used to see people on the side of the street that were dirty and begging, and I said, "Boy, what a bum." Now I say, that is a child of God. You know, I got to pray for that person. That comes with a lot of old age.
You're gonna have some good
Yeah, I'm
stuff.
over 80 now. So
I'll beg
I didn't
you.
feel that way when I was 60 or 70. But
Okay, Becky.
yeah. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, that's all I have for you guys. I just want to let you guys know that I love y'all and thank y'all for doing this.
So I do have a few questions. Some of them have been put up to you by your sons. I won't name names. Tony.
If we name them, you tell us.
Yes. If you go through the list, we'll figure out which one it was.
Okay.
Now I have a few serious questions. What was it that you first admired in her?
She was not silly. I dated a few girls before I dated her, and they were all silly. But she was down to earth and talked plainly, and you could understand every word she said. She wasn't giggling between words, you know. And then I realized shortly thereafter that we were from the same culture, sharecroppers. We were from the same religion. We both spoke French and English. So we had a lot in common, and that's what I'm still loving for all of that, yeah.
What did you admire in him?
Well, he was always real person, and didn't have to boast for him, and you don't have to, he was just nice all the time, and he still is very good for me.
So, who was the favorite, you or my mom?
For Ernest?
For your parents, for your mom.
Oh, Lyra.
So, Chris, are you going to ask your question or you want me to ask it? So, we would go to Momo's house.
Yeah.
Your mom, and there was this beautiful portrait of Liera.
I know.
Where was your picture?
Well, I gave her that picture, and I had it kind
Done
of
up?
fixed up, and she just didn't like it.
No, she loved it.
She loved it? Yeah. Well, she did.
She didn't tell you, but
she told you. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I thought it was. So
But your
beautiful.
mama didn't hang up a picture of you in her house. Did she not have one?
Me? Yeah. No, none for me.
You didn't
none
give
for
her one
Lyra.
of you.
No, Lyra didn't give her any either.
Well, listen, Leanna was always attractive, but especially when you've seen young pictures of Leanna
She is
in her
beautiful.
late teens, early
Yeah,
20s.
she was beautiful.
She was gorgeous.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, we found a certificate. She graduated from modeling and finishing school.
Yeah.
When she
sure
was
did.
younger. We found that when we were going through her house.
Her and Gay Nolan.
Yeah.
That's news. It doesn't surprise me, though.
No,
It doesn't
no,
surprise
no.
me one bit.
Okay, so now I have a more fun question. This one's from Tony. How many times did you think about firing me when I worked for you?
Firing you?
No,
Yeah.
no. He closed that damn door, though, and then you had to know it.
Oh, no. I mean, I had a technique. I don't know. I'm sure
Close
you
the
figured
door.
it
I
out.
did figure some things out.
Yeah.
Like closing the door,
Okay.
slamming the
Okay.
door.
No, not
What
that.
is-
Oh.
More mind games. He and I know we played the mind games with each other.
Okay.
No, mine wasn't so. It was not so mindful, I guess you call it.
You were more
No, if
upfront.
she-
For good work.
If she was late for work or she was in a bad mood, all I had to do was slam a couple of the doors and she'd change her attitude.
I don't remember that for the record.
Yeah.
I remember none of that.
No, yeah.
I don't ever remember being in a better mood because of that. Let's just
Now,
say.
when you were sick or something, I
Yeah.
would go get you a couch.
I know you took very good care of me. You
Yeah.
took very good care of me, and I appreciate it.
Oh, no, but it was so much fun working with you because
Oh, we get
You-
to play some what was the game?
Farkle, we played Farkle, and we
Farkle.
played the pigs.
oh yeah, and we drink wine on Friday
Wine,
afternoon.
yeah, on Friday.
Wine
we
on
could-
Friday
we were-
afternoons.
Oh yeah, it wasn't so bad, but no, you were a lot like your mama. You understood revenues. You understood
Yes.
expenses. You knew how to create revenues. You knew how to take care of clients. I mean, I never would do it, but I could take 2 or 3 weeks off, and I wouldn't worry about the business.
Yeah, when I first started, you didn't, but when I've been there a while, y'all would start going for 2 weeks at a time, and you wouldn't call in every day.
No, Well,
I
that's
was
fine.
always proud because then I knew that you trusted me and
Yeah.
everything was going to be fine.
Right.
Oh yeah, we could go.
Well, I guess that's when we went on those cruises.
That's right.
Those
We went on the
10-day
long cruises, yeah.
Oh yeah,
Yep.
that was good.
Yep. Yep. So.
Yeah, and so
And you
what
were-
was it like for me and Chris to be in y'all's world all the time?
Oh, you were the one who cried. I don't know what for.
I'm a girl. And I had 4 boys around me.
The only girl.
I was the only girl with these boys. That's why I cried.
Yeah,
I
know.
still do it.
But Craig did something.
Craig was tough.
And I had to call your mom. Your mama came and you still were crying.
Oh, I don't remember that. I was traumatized. Craig
And then-
traumatized
and
me a
then-
lot.
And then she gave you something to cry about.
Yeah, that was always Mama. You want something to cry about? I'll give you something to cry about. And the whole punishing and then, but I love you. It was, I love you. I love you. Yeah, we knew.
Yeah, because I love you. Here we go.
Because I loved you.
Yeah.
I want you to be good.
Yeah.
So I want to ask you a strange question.
No, what?
If you had 5 more minutes with Mom,
Oh, just 5 more minutes.
what would you do? Would y'all just giggle? Like y'all used to giggle behind the rice bowl?
Well, we could do that, but I want to touch her
Yeah.
and make sure it's her, you know? Yeah. So, yeah. Mister.
I know, I don't want to make you cry. I'm crying
That's
too,
all right.
but,
That's all
you
right.
know.
It's all right. I can stop crying if I want to, I guess.
I couldn't, apparently, so why can you? When I was little, I cried all the time, right?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
She
Out
was-
of all those 15, she was my
She was
favorite.
your favorite. Well, so did y'all ever talk French when my dad was around because he couldn't understand
No,
it?
we would not. I would get that respect for your daddy.
All
Oh,
right.
yeah, your daddy was good. He'd come to my house when he was retired.
Oh, I remember.
Yeah, and he said, I was painting, of course.
Uh-huh.
And he said,
Yeah,
okay,
that reminds me, I got
think
another question.
I'm gonna go now, because if I don't leave now, I'm gonna get painted.
That's right. He used to tell me, he says, you got to be careful with your nanny. She's like the army. If you stay still too long, they're going to paint you. So here's another question for you. When you painted your chain link fence with a brush, did it not occur to you to do it some other way?
No, man, because we were doing so good.
No, but
Rosie?
What? I mean, okay, Craig gone, but these two boys are here, and didn't know what I'm talking about. You probably know what I'm talking about too. Okay, you got a job to do. She got a way of doing it. I got an easier way of doing it. Much easier. But it's not gonna be 100%. It might be
99.
it might be 99, 98, but it's not 100%. Therefore, we're gonna do it the hard way, I call it.
I guess y'all think we all.
No, I think y'all are precious.
No.
So, Chris, do you need to ask your question, or should I ask it? Or does it not be asked at all? Why don't you come sit down and ask it? It's your question.
Yeah, we would love to
Something
have
about a list.
a video.
Oh, so I have one last question. Do y'all know how much we love you?
Well, yes,
I
I do.
suspect.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, yes. And we'll take care of y'all, for sure.
Yeah.
If we can.
So one question would be, all these years you made pecan pies for all these people.
Yeah.
I only made the list 1 year. Is there a reason for that?
Yes,
Okay.
because I had ran out of pecan.
Every year?
I happened to be at your house 1 year when you were making them, and I got one, and I never got.
Well,
The next year I kept looking for my pecan pie, and it wasn't there.
Well, the list,
where was it?
I don't know.
I don't know.
well, the list was too full already.
That was
Oh,
yeah.
yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah. you
Oh,
can't-
yeah.
Yeah, the recipe is only for 28 pies.
Yeah.
And I didn't rank in the top 28.
Yeah.
Well, baby.
It's okay.
Oh.
That's okay. But you do know how much we love you, right?
Yes, we do. Yes, we do. And we go ahead, give it to me now.
But
Well, I just want you to know I did not send the go-kart on your roses on purpose. That was an accident.
Oh, was it? Oh, I'm so glad you told me.
I know for the longest time you thought I did that on purpose.
I know. I saw something go whoop.
I did too.
You did too.
Yeah. And you got very mad because we were laughing.
Yeah.
I don't know why.
yeah, she didn't see anything funny in that. But you know, we've talked a lot about raising children, but I was so lucky because I saw what kind of job it was to discipline young kids, and I really didn't want that job. And boy, she did such a great job. So, I mean, that's just the way it went, you know. And
Well,
and
I mean-
also I must say that I did actuary work, and she did everything else around the house.
I even get on the roof.
Oh yeah,
Oh, we remember.
oh yeah. The Raven Horse boys come one time and visit
Yeah, I
us,
was
and
up
Evelyn's up on the roof.
Raven, yeah, the Raven horse.
Well, I mean, y'all had a lot to do with raising Becky and I because, you know, mom and dad both worked and we were over there a lot. So,
Well, I just saw y'all as having 5 kids instead of 3. Yeah.
Well, that was my question.
But then you have some.
No, I don't really have a question, but I do want to say that as hard as you and Liera in the fall blood, and I know all about it because Chris has fall blood. He has some,
And it was some same thing.
yeah, but he has some Porsche too, so it's a good mix. But I just want to say that I thank y'all for what y'all have done. I'm married to Chris, and he's a part of the family, and I loved every minute. I took my wedding pictures at y'all house, and Miss Evelyn helped sew clothes when I was pregnant because I'm short, so everything had to be hemmed. And I loved all of our conversations, and you made pajamas for the kids and Christmas clothes for Kayla. And Mr. Ernest, you were always there. Chris and I used to go visit y'all and sit, and we had the best conversations. And to all of her children, she did, y'all may not think so, but they both always talked very highly of all of y'all when Chris and I were there.
Thank you.
So, and I don't have any questions, but I love y'all.
Okay.
I love you too.
Yeah.
I just want to start off by saying that I love y'all, and y'all have meant a lot to me over the
Yes.
years and done a lot for me, and just appreciate all of y'all's support and kind words and advice, Papa, and Mama, your cooking.
We don't have any other grandkids in here, but
There's a video camera over there.
but no, well, you're for some reason you're extra special to me. First of all, because you're a mathematician,
Yeah.
and I read your master's thesis and I understood it, and I saw how it could be applied over here today. You know how we were figuring out how to put the tables and who would sit where? Well, Justin wrote a master's thesis on if you want to put two people apart from each other, and then other people you want to put together, and you got a group of X people that mathematics would do it for you. So I thought that was amazing.
Yeah.
And now I'm gonna go on record now.
It just shows you what
Yeah.
I'm gonna go on record.
Oh, you something special.
Yeah, I want something special. I want him to take that paper, polish it up, and publish it.
Someday.
I'll work on it.
Okay, work on it. Okay.
But,
I'll do that same thing. No, I always thought. Justin always, to my mind, made wise decisions in his life.
And if he said something, he meant it.
And our breakfasts at McDonald's, it was very special. And at IHOP.
The one time in IHOP that we'll never go to again.
Okay.
All right.
I love you, buddy.
Love you too. But I guess the one question I have, or I guess maybe multiple if I could think of more, but so being married is not an easy thing. And so what advice would you give all the married couples in this family? And
I think perseverance always comes to mind.
Yeah. Anyhow, and you're mad at him or something. Just walk away or until you're ready to come back.
Yeah, you gotta persevere. I mean, nowadays they find it so easy to split up and go their own ways. No, that's what comes to mind for me. Perseverance.
that's right.
Yeah.